Welcome to part 4 of the Unstuckable You Masterclass Series. Today we're exploring emotional restoration and inner healing, how to reconnect with your natural flow and shift the energy that's been holding you back. We'll talk about the science behind emotional energy and what it takes to truly heal. So let's get into it now. There's a Japanese art, maybe you've seen it, it's called kintsugi. They take broken pottery and they put it all back together, but they use like gold and silver and precious metals, and they don't hide the imperfections. It's part of the art of it that you see it. And it makes this beautiful design based on putting together the broken pieces and not hiding the scars, not hiding them, not trying to cover them up, not saying this isn't good enough, so we're just going to throw it out. It's just like your past wounds and experiences are not signs of brokenness, but signs of resilience and strength that can be made into something beautiful. We're already adapting to an identity. You know what one of mine was? My family constantly told me I talk too much. I was not listened to. I was made fun of for talking. And so what did I do? I walked around my yard telling myself stories, making things up. I'd say them out loud because that's also how I escaped from what was a very dysfunctional and scary home situation. And so I kind of have to go, oh, I get the last laugh, because that ability to talk and communicate led me to my greatest accomplishment in my business and the transformation of my life, and even better, lives of the people that I serve, changing their lives. And that's legacy and having impact that I couldn't have in my family of origin, I have now this way. And so that's how healing can happen. It isn't always easy, this healing bit. Probably putting together that boil of kintsugi takes a while to really be able to do a nice job with it, but it's always worth it. It's about giving yourself permission to feel, to heal, to grow. And it's forgiving and releasing the old to make room for the new. I have so many stories about this, but I'm really also cognizant of the time, and I want to get through all of these words for you. So now it's your turn. So spend some time with this, reflecting on acknowledging those missteps, understanding it's okay to let go, writing down limiting beliefs that may be holding you back, and then physically write them down and cross them out. This could just be a ritualistic thing, but sometimes those are like touchstones for us. They give us meaning, a representation of the thing we're doing. And write down positive and empowering beliefs that resonate with your divine assignment. That is a powerful step towards healing. And I love this quote from Albert Einstein. He said, reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. And I think if Albert Einstein could see it that way, it serves us well to look at it that way as well. Restoration. Restoration is a return to power, returning, claiming your rightful place as the king or queen, the monarch of your life and business. It's about reestablishing connection with your inner knowing and intuitive guidance, and particularly regarding the word money, right? Because that's underlying everything with our business. If we don't make money, we can't impact other people's lives. We can't give to other things. We can't create. We can't have more reach. It's important in so many ways, and not to mention just having a nice life, right? So the scientific principle behind this is the law of conservation of energy. In physics, this law states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another. It's science, people. I love this principle, because in our lives, this means that the energy or the power we feel that we've lost has not disappeared. And maybe we haven't found it yet, but it's there. It has merely changed form and can be reclaimed. Okay. So think of a rechargeable battery. We have a Ring doorbell, and it has a rechargeable battery, and it'll tell us when it's time to plug it in and charge it. So after using it for a while, it loses power, right? But once we recharge it for a little bit, plug it back in, it regains its strength and continues on. So you may have felt disempowered yourself in the past, especially concerning money. But this power can be reclaimed, recharged, restored, because it already exists. Science, it already exists. It's not an imaginary thing. So restoration is about reclaiming your inherent power, particularly around money and how you interact with it. What are your fees? What do you feel like you're worth in your business? What are you charging to work with you? What do you do with the money after you get it? When does the money stop? When do you hit that brick wall? It's about reconnecting with your soul's inner wisdom and guidance, like energy and the law of conservation. Your power can be transformed, never lost. And when you choose to reclaim it, you restore your capacity to direct your life and finances effectively. Science, return to your natural state of power. It's about reestablishing a deep connection with your intuitive guidance, your inner knowing, especially concerning your relationship with money, the value you put on what you do, how it serves you. The thing is about all of this, I was saying the words money, but it's really reaches into the deeper aspects of your life. It's not abundance and prosperity is not just money. It's part of it. It's about everything, right? That you can have abundance just knowing that you have the ability, the capability of shifting this in your life. That's abundance. That's abundant thinking. And it's a spiritual practice. Money is actually spiritual in this sense. And so, again, how you do this is how you do everything. It's not just, oh, this one part of my life, but over here, everything is awesome. No, it's how you do everything. So like the law of conservation of energy in physics, your power, just like energy, never truly disappears. It might change forms. It might seem to diminish, but it's there to be reclaimed and restored. That should be super exciting to you, really. Just wow. Or the curiosity, the wow factor of this is there. It's there for me, like right now. It applies to all aspects of your life, as I said. And again, in science, there's that ripple effect that extends. We're going to get to that in a minute, but like throwing a rock in the water and the ripple, it's like that. And so consider the areas of your life where you feel disempowered, particularly around money. Probably have one. Acknowledge them, write them down, reflect on why you feel this way. And I'm using the word feeling because a lot of times we feel stuff, we don't want to feel it. We don't want to feel it. And so we procrastinate, we go binge on Netflix, we go eat a pint of ice cream. Some people drink, some people smoke, whatever it may be. Other things that are distractions, are causes for procrastination, are temporary solutions that we see as it'll make me feel better for a little while, right? And it may actually release some endorphins and whatever, a pound of chocolate. I feel better for a few minutes and then I take a nap, right? Because it is making a change, but it's not a lasting one. And so instead of running away from the feelings, see them as a little marker. Okay, I don't need to connect a big story to the feeling. I can experience the feeling and just let it go by. And what happens when you do that is it gradually starts to be easier. You gradually understand that these feelings will just pass by like weather, and that behind that is that sunshine and blue sky, and that you don't have to run away from the feelings. You'll start to shift into focusing on feelings that really make you feel good internally, not because you had to do some outside yourself thing to try and put a Band-Aid on it. So feel the energy of these words radiating within you right now, recharging your personal power. That hope that starts to kindle, that little spark that's going, oh, wait a minute, maybe I really can do this, because you can. So the next step to restoration, we're going to neutralize the negative feelings. And it's really okay to say that you're neutral about something. Sometimes we think that means, oh, we must not care. I must be a bad mother if I've been able to neutralize my feelings about something that's happening with one of my kids, of knowing where the lines are, what you're responsible for and what you're not, what you can impact, what you can't, and what story you're building around it that makes you feel a certain way. Reaching a point of neutrality is actually really a great place to be. It really is, when it comes to these kinds of things and how you beat yourself up over them, because you choose to be the person that you are. You may find yourself locked in a cycle of negativity, the incessant chatter, I can't, it's too late, I didn't, I failed, what's the point? I think I've thought all those thoughts. Don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure I have. This is a common barrier that many of us face when we're striving for that personal growth, that transformation. So there's someone that I think is super inspiring. He's passed away, but very inspired teachings and philosophy of a man named Sidney Banks. Maybe some of you have heard of him. He shares an enlightening concept called the 3 principles. He's impacted just millions of people, even after his death. And these principles are mind, consciousness, and thought that form the bedrock of our existence. And I'm not time to teach all those right now, but it gets woven into this of just what do our minds do? What does our thinking do? And what is our consciousness about it? That universal wisdom, that bigger intelligence that I believe comes from a divine source. So he emphasized that the innate well-being within all of us as humans is there all the time. That's how we came into the world. We have the capacity to just be fine, just be well, and reminding us that we have that capacity by altering our thoughts, by being conscious of them. A documentary I also would recommend is called The Secret Life of Waves on the surface. No pun intended, but it looks like a documentary about how waves work on the ocean. But really, there's so much more metaphorically in that. It just was like, wow, this is amazing. It encourages us to see our thoughts like waves, is how I thought of it, coming and going, always in flux, always there, and empowering us to understand that we don't have to latch on to every negative thought wave that washes over us. We're the surfers of our life, I guess you could say, because by recognizing we can choose which thoughts to engage with, choose which wave you're going to ride, neutralize the negative thinking patterns, and move from a state of negativity to neutrality. Like, I think I'll just sit here on my board for a little while, neutral, and then positivity. And so observe your thoughts, like transformational tip for you on this, recognize them as waves, choose which ones to ride,
And as you practice this, you'll find it becomes easier to let the negative ones flow by untouched, leaving free to really write the positive ones. Hang 10 and hum a Beach Boys song while you do it. So think about the thoughts you've been engaging with. Are they serving you or holding you back? That is one of the simplest ones ever. Does this move you forward or not? Does this take you towards something that you desire or away from? Be honest with yourself. You're not defined by these thoughts. Your thoughts are not who you are. You are more than your thoughts. You can choose to engage with the thoughts that align with your new identity of being, B-E-I-N-G, being, because that's like the quantum leap. You become that person who can do the thing to create the results that you desire. You have to be it first. It isn't do it first and hope that somehow you catch up with it, because what'll happen, you might do a whole bunch of stuff. You might get super busy, but nothing's really changing. You're working harder, you're getting burned out, you're getting discouraged, nothing seems to be working because you're doing and you're not being first. It starts there. Your path to transforming your life, becoming that best version, you're not just improving your life. You're making that quantum leap. You're choosing who you desire to be, and you do get to do that. It's not locked in from the age of 7, right? I feel like it, but it doesn't have to be. And I'm here to cheer you on with that. I'm here to help you with that. And good old Albert said, again, another great quote from him, we can't solve problems using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. More of the same. So when you think, I'm going to solve a problem, I'm going to solve a problem, that's part of the problem. You're trying to be just in your head, and think you're going to think your way out of it using the same way of thinking that got you there. Craziness, right? But yet we do so much of that.
You've just taken a powerful step toward reclaiming your inner peace. In part 5, we'll go even deeper into the spiritual science of convergence and how your energetic alignment reveals your divine assignment. It's one of the most important pieces in this journey. Don't miss it.